Welcome to 10 Lessons Learned, where we talk to leaders from all over the world about the lessons that shaped them. Today, we are honoured to have a legendary guest, someone who brings joy and hope to the world and embodies the holiday spirit, Santa Claus himself.
Thank you, Robert. It's a treat to be here and share a few stories from my travels and some life lessons I've learned along the way.
Santa, this is incredible. I can't wait to dive in. So what's the first lesson you'd like to share with us?
Let's start with one of the most important. The joy of giving is far greater than receiving. It's easy to think that the excitement of Christmas comes from getting gifts. But after a few centuries of gift giving, I've seen firsthand that the real joy is in the giving itself.
Do you have an example of when you really saw joy in action?
Oh, absolutely, Robert. A few years back, there was a little girl named Sophia who wrote me a letter, but she didn't ask for anything for herself. She wanted a warm coat for her younger brother. Her family was struggling, and she had been saving up her allowance to buy him one, but it wasn't enough. Well, on Christmas morning, I made sure there was a cozy coat just his size under the tree with a note from Sophia saying it was from her. The joy on her face when she saw her brother's smile. That's what Christmas is all about.
That's beautiful, Santa. So it's about creating joy for others, not just collecting gifts for ourselves.
Exactly, Robert. The warmth we feel in giving is the real gift. Lesson 2 is very near to my heart. Believe in the magic of kindness.
And how does kindness work as magic, Santa?
Now, Robert, people talk about Christmas magic, and I'm all for that. But the true magic, the kind that makes an impact, is kindness. I'll share a little story. One night, I visited a small town in Finland, and there was a boy named Axel. He didn't have much, and life wasn't easy for his family. But every day after school, he would visit an elderly neighbor and help her with her chores, bring her firewood, and tell her stories. I decided to surprise him with a little gift, a book he'd wanted to show him how much his kindness mattered. Well, when he saw the book, he looked over at his neighbor and said, "I think she'd like it too." And they shared the book together. It was as if his kindness had doubled the joy.
So kindness has this ripple effect.
That's the magic of kindness. It grows and spreads, touching lives in ways we don't always see.
That's incredible, Santa.
Exactly, Robert. And the world could use a little more of that magic. Now, lesson 3, cherish traditions. They create lasting memories. Traditions are those beautiful rituals that make Christmas so special. They connect families and friends across generations.
And do you have a favorite tradition that you've seen on all your journeys?
Certainly. One year, I visited a family in Mexico that celebrated by making tamales together on Christmas Eve. The whole family gathered in the kitchen, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, even little ones. They spent hours making the tamales by hand, talking, laughing, and sharing stories as they worked. What struck me was how each person played a role. Even the children helped with simple tasks, and everyone felt a part of it. They told me it's a tradition that goes back generations, and that every year they make tamales not just to eat, but to give to neighbors and friends. For this family, it wasn't just about the food. It was about coming together, celebrating each other, and creating memories they'd treasure forever.
That's beautiful, Santa. You know, it's amazing how simple traditions like that can just bring families together.
Yes, Robert, it's a reminder that traditions don't have to be elaborate to be meaningful. They're about the connections we make and the memories we create together. Lesson 4, and one I think we should all remember. Never lose your sense of wonder. Christmas is a time to open our hearts to a bit of magic, to let ourselves believe in the extraordinary
Yeah, that sounds like a lesson that's harder to keep as we get older.
That's true, Robert. But I'll share a story that might inspire you. I remember a gentleman named Mr. Hahn who, at 85, decided to decorate his house with lights for the first time since he was a boy. His grandchildren helped him string up lights, and he had the biggest smile you can imagine as he watched them light up. The sparkle in his eyes reminded me of a child seeing Christmas for the first time. That's what I mean by wonder. It's not about age. It's about letting yourself be open to joy, to delight in the little things.
That's such a powerful lesson, Santa. Life is so much richer when we allow ourselves to be amazed.
And for the last lesson, gratitude is the greatest gift of all. It's a little like magic itself. It makes what we have feel like enough and helps us focus on the good in our lives.
Well, is there a particular story that comes to mind when you think of gratitude?
Yes, there was a family I visited in Norway. They lived modestly, but the children were so excited to see the small presents I left them. A handmade doll for the daughter and a wooden train for the son. Instead of tearing open more gifts, they took a moment to thank me with so much gratitude for just those two simple gifts. That gratitude filled the whole room with warmth. They taught me something that night. It's not about the quantity of what we receive. It's about the quality of our appreciation.
That is a lovely reminder, Santa. Gratitude really does change how we see the world.
Indeed, Robert. When we're grateful, we find joy in what we have. And that's the real treasure of Christmas.
Thank you, Santa, for these beautiful lessons. They are a timeless reminder of what the holiday season is all about and how we can strive to live better every day.
Thank you, Robert. It's been a pleasure to be here. And remember, these lessons are for all year, not just for Christmas.
Well, that wraps up this Christmas episode of 10 Lessons Learned. Thank you, Santa Claus, for joining us today, and thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Until next time, keep the spirit of giving and kindness and gratitude alive in your heart. And maybe, just maybe, leave out a few extra cookies this Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.